So these speakers, TurboSound's a great company. I don't know where they're out of, but these are the line array. So I don't know if you can see the little speakers inside of there that are pointed in all different directions. So it's kind of like those stick speaker systems that everybody uses, but it's built into a box like this instead. And the reason I prefer that is because it's in stereo. So I have two speakers. I tried to use just the one speaker for a while and I just didn't like that. So I prefer the two speakers standing in the middle of it, getting the full effect, the full stereo. And everything that I run is all in stereo as well. I've never once had feedback.
Everybody already saw that your cases hold everything.
Yes, they do. Two cases hold it all, except for the guitar.
Cases custom built?
What I did is I started with the pedal board size. So I got the size pedal board that I needed, and then I had the cases built to fit the pedal board perfectly. I forget the name of the company, but I think it's roadcases.com, I think is all it's called. And I sent them an email, told them the dimensions, they gave me a price. I think it was around $300 a few years ago. And I had them build one, and because I thought I could do it all with one, and then I realized I'm gonna need two. So then I measured the speakers, and lo and behold, the speakers fit perfectly. Two of them fit perfectly inside one of those boxes. So that was just a magical thing that happened. So I ended up ordering the second one, and I put one of them on wheels, and I set the other one on top of that one. And I can wheel it in and out of wherever it needs to go.
And you have speaker mounted lights.
Yep, they're just cheap Amazon LED lights. They come with a remote control. I just have them on a soft fade, so they just change color slowly as the show goes on.
It's a nice ambience.
That's right, that's right.
So the speaker poles themselves.
Yes, they're M20 poles, so they have the thread. So if you see the base there on top of the box, I just mounted that base, and then the speaker pole just screws right into there. I had to cut those poles down a little bit. They were like 36 inch or something. I think I made them 20 inch just to get the speakers at a perfect level. So all those poles fit right in that box perfectly. No problem. It's magic.
We're gonna start up top on this microphone.
It's an Audio Technica, I believe. Yeah, Audio Technica. Yeah, it's a condenser microphone. It's a live condenser microphone. So it takes the 48 volts phantom power.
Really?
Yep.
No room noise issues?
None. Zero. I think because whatever they call it, it only picks up sound like right here. So if you ever watch those live performances, you can't hear any crowd at all, which is kind of a problem. I want to figure out a way to put a little bit of crowd noise into those live streams. But yeah, that microphone is perfect for what I need. It's crystal clear. It works great.
So you have two tablets. Tell me what each tablet does.
So the one on the left is all of my lyrics and notes for each song. So I have a couple hundred songs loaded in here. What I did is just copy and paste them into a Word document, and then I format them exactly how I want them, and then I can just pick and choose whichever song I want. If we go back here, here's the master song list. There's probably 550 songs on that list right there. And then I can just scroll quickly down here. It's all alphabetized by artist. Probably some copyright infringement there if I sell it, but you know.
All right, so
that's number one, the left iPad. So that's all my songs and notes. The second iPad, the pedal board that I run, the multi-effects unit I run is an HX Effects by Line 6. And it all has the MIDI capability, which is computer signals that you can use to change equipment settings on the fly. So this is all this is. I'm actually using Loopy Pro here, which some of you might be familiar with that. It's actually a looping app, but I haven't incorporated the looping side of it yet. But I can build all these platforms, and I can change all of my effects with my fingertips. It's just a little bit easier for me than trying to stomp on pedals all night long.
Sure.
So, I mean, in here I have a rhythm, which is what you hear, just a straight guitar. I can hit this for a bass effect, so I can turn my guitar into a bass. I don't know if you guys watch the live streams. I do a lot of wah, like Jerry Garcia style wah. There's a little bit of distortion. It just adds a little gain to it for like a kind of a rock solo. And then the rest of these are just kind of fun. This is a Univibe sound. It's just kind of a heavy vibrato sound. Heavy chorus sound for, I don't know if you just want to thicken the guitar up. This is a keyboard. It just turns the guitar into a keyboard. It's just a funky sound I like to use once in a while. And then I loop a lot of percussion on the guitar, and when I hit this, it drops out kind of all the reverb in that. So just make it sound just like a drum.
I was wondering what the drum button does for the guitar pedal.
Yep. And so if I'm in the middle of a song, let's just say I'm on distortion, I'm like, oh shoot, the verse is coming back up. I need to go back to the rhythm thing, like a basic guitar sound. I have this big rhythm button here where I can just hit this and it resets everything back to the basics on the fly. I just added this week because it's a lot of buttons and things on the fly. It's exhausting mentally. So whatever I can do to make it a little easier. Yeah, and then I add a lot of delays into what I do for some soloing. And these 4 buttons up here, I can change how much delay I'm putting on a solo, basically.
Very cool.
Okay. So that's the 2 iPad thing for all you people that are haters out there. Yes. That's what I got 2 iPads for. And I'll tell you what, my kids play sports and we live stream all of their sports. So if I'm at a show and I can't be there with my children, I can actually pull up their live stream and kind of keep an eye on their sports as I'm playing a show.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's not taking away from the Acoustic show, but I'm a father and I don't want to miss anything. So if I have to miss something, I can literally pull up a live video of my children doing what they love.
Are these just USB-Cs or Lightnings?
Yeah, they're just, it's the old school iPad plug, which is what, Lightning, I guess?
Yeah.
So they both charge, and this one is a MIDI cable that runs down into the line 6. Mission control right there.
Before we go to the pedal board, you have your live streaming camera over here, correct?
Yep.
Are you running any software on this?
Yes, this is an app called Prism, and I just attach it to my Facebook page and my YouTube page. It runs everything in 1080p. It gives better audio quality. And so anytime I hit live on this, it just automatically goes live on my Facebook page and on my YouTube channel. It's so simple. I wish I could help everybody do it, and I want to help everybody do it. If you look at the pedal board really quick, I just have my mixer there. So everything runs into that mixer. And then I just tap a USB cable from that mixer into an old iPhone. This is just my last iPhone that I had. And I just connect it to Wi-Fi, whether it's Wi-Fi at the venue or Wi-Fi from a hotspot from my new cell phone. And if you go direct into your phone, it just gives it direct sound, and it sounds great. I learned all that during COVID.
Yeah. So the cable going into your camera there.
Yeah, it's a USB-B on the back of that mixer, and it converts to a lightning cable up here at the phone. It's one cable. It's $8 on Amazon, and you can directly live stream to pretty much any device. And I'll give you a little note for you bigger guys out there. The higher you get the camera, the skinnier you look.
It's true.
So I use that little trick sometimes. I don't know how much it works.
All right, let's move on to the pedal board.
Sure.
So signal chain wise, let's just start for your audio. Where does your signal start?
All right, so the signal starts at the guitar, obviously, and the cable goes from that guitar directly into this line 6 HX effects right here. So every sound that you hear on the live stream and in my music comes from that pedal. So it's all computer based, obviously. You can go in and really dial in effects and sounds and reverbs and delays, distortions, you name it, it's got it built into it. So the guitar runs into that pedal. Oh, I'm sorry, actually it runs into this DI box. I have a LR Baggs DI box first, and then it runs into the HX effects.
Okay.
Yep.
Acoustic. Yes. There it is.
And then from there, it runs out into this looper, which I'm about to update my looper, hopefully one of these days. That's just a Boss RC1. It's the most basic $100 looper that you can buy, and it's really all that I need. Gotcha. But I think I'm going to update to the RC500, which is a dual looper. So I think I'm going to split out the percussion and everything else. I'm going to put the percussion on one loop and everything else on another loop, just so I have a little bit more control. The pedal to the right of that is just a volume pedal, so at any time I can control the volume of my guitar. So I'll have the volume down lower, set a loop, and then if I want a solo, I'll just add a little bit more volume on it to make the guitar stand out to be able to do a solo. And I'm like, I think it's my ADD or my OCD, whatever it is, but I'm a freak when it comes to volume. If something is even just a little bit off, it drives me crazy. So having this pedal just gives me full control of that. This other pedal here, expression pedal, is just, it adds more effects in each chain that I use. I assign it to different things to be able to maybe more delay, less delay, or whatever it calls for, it's done. And then all of that runs into the mixer here. And then I have my microphone that just is direct right into the mixer. And that's the home base for everything, and that's where I can EQ it, blend it perfectly, and that's pretty much it. And then it splits out from that mixer and goes left and right to each speaker, and it goes USB out to the phone for the live stream.
What's your estimated cost, do you think?
I mean, over the years, it's, you know, you accrue things and you sell things and whatever. I would say right now, even with the guitars, probably $2,500, maybe a little more. With the pedal board, the boxes, the cables, the lighting, you name it. Yeah, it's not too bad. If you do it over time, it's really not too bad.
Right. And a lot of sound systems cost $2,500.
This is true. This is true. So my whole rig, you know, like you said, it breaks down these 2 boxes. You can just throw each box into the back of the vehicle. They don't weigh a whole lot. I try to split the weight evenly. They probably weigh about 50 pounds each. So they're a little heavy, but it's manageable. Keeps me young. I'll tell you that.
And they're on wheels too, right?
Yeah, one of them is on wheels.
One of them's on wheels.
And then I just put the other one on top of that one, and I have a strap for it that I use sometimes if it's a little bit of a tougher load in. I'll throw a strap around it. But
one plug?
Yeah.
Plug?
One electrical plug goes to this power strip. There's a surge protector power strip on the pedal board. and then that powers everything.
I see you have a ground detector on there.
I do. I don't really use it for that. What I use it for is it's the highest point on the pedal board. So when I'm closing the lid, the first thing it's going to crush is that little $5 piece of thing. So just in case I don't have the pedal board in there correctly, it'll not crush things that it's not supposed to crush. Another thing you guys probably noticed is I have my microphone stand connected directly to the pedal board. I highly recommend that. That's a $7 gas pipe flange that I got at Home Depot. I drilled a hole in it, and I drilled a hole in the mic stand. You just slide the mic stand in, put a bolt through it, and it's locked. It's not going anywhere. So I highly recommend that, because then you don't need that big tripod thing that adds extra weight, bass, blah, blah, blah. Then I got my trusty carpet here. I highly recommend a carpet for all you players out there. Standing in the same spot on a concrete floor for 3 hours sometimes just isn't all that fun. So you add a little carpet. And in the summertime, I like to play barefoot. So I kick my shoes aside and stand on the carpet. A couple other little notes for anybody who cares. I obviously spray painted my name on both boxes, which I thought was kind of cool. So it just says Jason Carst. People know who I am. In this top box, this is the top box that sits on top. I actually wired in a power strip inside there, so I can plug all my iPads and my phones in when it's in there. And then when I come home, I just plug an extension cord in there and it charges everything. So that's like a proprietary thing, working on a patent.
That is incredible.
Yep. So I love it. It's the best rig I've ever had. It takes probably 8 minutes to set up and probably 6 minutes to break down. So first thing I do is just turn everything off. Everything's on one switch, which is great. Speakers and all, everything shuts off. Next thing I do is unplug everything, all of it, while I'm down here. I'm a big guy. I don't waste a good bend over. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not bending over twice if I don't have to. So I do that, break down all the iPads, kind of get a little spot to throw it all. The table's usually pretty nice. We'll break this mic stand down quick. I used to do low voltage systems for a living, so I ran a lot of wires. So wiring is like an OCD thing of mine, that it has to be kind of perfect or I go insane. So there's that. And then this breaks down into 3 pieces. So there's one with the microphone. We have the little iPad holder cluster. And then this is the 3rd piece here, which if you zoom in here, you see the little bolt that it goes through.
Oh, yeah.
All right, there's that. Unplug the speaker. We can get rid of the speaker, get that out of our way. So you have a little plug here that I can plug everything in at the speaker, which is nice. Plug in my light. Roll these up. For those of you that don't use these little Velcro things that just wrap around a cable, you can get literally 100 of them for like $10, and it just wraps around and tucks that in nice. I have these on every single cable that I own. It keeps everything from getting tangled. It's really nice. So we'll break this speaker down. We'll unplug the fan, unplug the light, roll this up nice and neat with our little Velcro gizmo. So I'm used to doing all this with a bunch of drunk people around saying, oh my God, thanks for playing Freebird. Yeah, I still play Freebird sometimes. If it's the right night, in the right mood. You know how that goes. Okay, we're gonna unplug the electricity. We'll wrap this up. This is just connected to the power strip on the board. We'll unplug the live stream. So it's just an old iPhone, that's all that is. I wanna say the 13, maybe the 12, something like that. But if you don't have an iPhone connected to a cellular plan, it just becomes an iTouch. So you can just hook it up to Wi-Fi and still use it as normal. It just doesn't make phone calls. All right, so there's the pedal board broke down. We'll unscrew these. So again, it's just an M20 pole, they call it. It screws into the base, super easy. We'll set that aside. We'll go over here and do this one. For these poles and the bases, I think it was 40 bucks total, maybe 50 bucks. Super cheap, and it just makes life a hell of a lot easier. If you notice, I don't have speaker stands. I don't have to drag speaker stands around. I have my little tip jar, which is now not taxed, I guess. So we'll start with the bottom one. This is the one on wheels. So I have 2 black tablecloths in here because when I do corporate gigs or higher class gigs, quote unquote, I'll put those, the black table covers over my boxes. Just makes it look a little classier. So first thing that goes in is the speakers. And they fit perfectly, just by chance. They fit absolutely perfect. Next we'll go to the carpet. And I had to get the exact right carpet because it fits in here perfectly. Look at that. Now we're gonna put a bunch of hardware on top of that. Here's the mic stand. We're gonna put the fan in there. My little tip jar. And the guitar stand. And that's it for there. So like I said, I try to even the weight out between them both so one's not heavier than the other. And I used to put those speaker poles in here, but I found it just gets way too heavy with the speaker poles in, because this is the one I have to lift up from the ground and put in the truck. That other one's already up high sitting on top of here, so it's not too bad. So we're gonna lock that. We're gonna throw this one on top. And again, I don't like bending over, so I like how this case is up high. So in here is a case that I have all my extra stuff. Extra picks, extra strings, extra cables, extra microphones, sound hole covers, capos, power supplies, extension cords, batteries. I even have throat lozengers. I have heartburn medicine if you should need it. I have ibuprofen in here if you just happen to have a headache. I have earplugs in here in case somebody doesn't like my music. I can give them earplugs. Yeah, here's the remotes for the lights. So that's just all in the case that I got on Amazon for, I don't know, 40 bucks. This I keep, I guess we'll call it happy juice. Whiskey. Just in case, you know, you never know when you just kind of need to loosen up a little bit. So there's that. We're gonna grab the cables. We're gonna grab the speaker poles. These will go in here. These speaker poles will lay in here nice and neat. If you look in here, this is the power strip that I wired in with the plug on the outside that I can just plug an extension cord from the outside and it charges up all my devices. So I'm going to plug the iPads in. So then when I get home each night, I just plug an extension cord in and I know that everything will be charged for the next show. So we're just going to slide these down in here, nice and protected, out of the way. Now we just take the pedal board. If you can see, I built some brackets. I built these aluminum brackets to fit the pedal board. And if you notice, it's at a little bit of an angle because the pedal board's at kind of an angle. So then this pedal board just fits right on top. Got to even out the cables a little bit. And you close her up. And you go to the bar for a beer.
All right, how does anybody contact you if they have questions about your setup?
Just go to facebook.com/Jason Carst Music, I believe is what it is. And I live stream most of my shows, not all of them, but most of them. And shoot me with any questions. I want to help out. Hopefully anybody got some tips out of this to make your life a little easier as a musician. And yeah, keep rocking, y'all.